been a while since I've talked about leadership here on the podcast, and I thought it would be a good time to bring it back up. So leadership is one of those that, if you're listening to this podcast, you hopefully know about. Now, there's a couple dichotomies to leadership that, to be honest, still really don't make any sense. One of them is leadership is the most well-written topic, probably second to the Bible and maybe romance, in the history of topics. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of books on Amazon right now about leadership. You could go to the library and probably find no less than 25 books that you could borrow for free about how to be a better leader. And the problem with all of that is somehow, in the crux of humanity, we still have a leadership problem. It blows my mind even that there are speakers out there talking about leadership, educating everybody. There's CEOs, presidents, and directors, vice presidents, executive teams, and yet leadership is still one of those that is not talked about enough. That there's still a massive leadership gap. That you could go to a small business in America and notice, like, you could just walk in. Once you know about leadership, you can walk in and be like, you need to fix these 3 things. Call me tomorrow and your company will probably be okay. It's these obvious things that people keep tripping over, but yet we still struggle with them. Honestly, it blows my mind anytime I start thinking about it, as it's been doing here just as I've been recording this podcast for a minute and a half. What I want to share with you today about leadership, though, is my story with leadership. Now, I've shared parts of this, so I won't go all into it, but I want to share a key point of it. That my journey got reignited in 2014 when I refound my love of leadership, which was something the Marine Corps taught me. But when you transition out, they don't trust you to run the copier, so therefore, you don't really get a chance to lead because you feel like you have to work your way back up. You don't have the credentials, to quote. But what happened in 2014 for me was reigniting that idea of leadership. So the next 3 or 4 years, I spent just diving into all the leadership books that I could get my hands onto. And it was based on this idea that if I could understand how to lead people, well, then my career would be set. And it was a story that someone told me about how their career unfolded, and I was like, oh, I want that. So I hook, line, and sinkered on that idea. But the problem was it didn't show up that way. And what I learned through about 7 years of trial and error here is that what most people have wrong about leadership is that it's self-leadership. Leadership is one of those things that it's not about always how you can influence others. That's a byproduct of how you lead yourself. So understanding these ideas and understanding how they're intertwined can be really important. Understanding how you lead yourself is how you lead your life. These basic ideas, but yet we still struggle to do them every day. What we don't understand is that within our homes, our families are desiring us to be the leader. Your wife, your partner, your kids, everyone is looking for you to be the leader. But they're not looking you to solve all their problems. They're looking for you to solve your own problems, to demonstrate an ability with your life that outpaces the people around you, that they're willing to follow you. Fatherhood is a journey of leading towards people. Fatherhood is a journey of leading towards yourself. There's a reason why this podcast is called The Business of Fatherhood, because the business of fatherhood is this illusion that business and fatherhood are separate. But under those, they're all part of the same umbrella of leadership. Some of the same things that we do at work apply at home, but we never really take that hat. We don't acknowledge that the same title you hold at work could be the same effective title that we have at home. Now, it's not in the same context, but the same principles are there. You can't be a drill sergeant at work and a drill sergeant at home. Those two principles will not work. Two different ideas. But the understanding of how you shape military recruits and how you can also shape your kids, not through yelling, but by your influence, you'll be able to change a whole ecosystem within your life. So I want to remind you, this is your reminder. Leadership is not about influencing people. It's about influencing yourself. Your ability to influence yourself will dictate the results that you get in your life. Remember, leadership is about self-leadership. The Marine Corps put it best, know thyself and seek self-improvement. Took me over 15 years to fully translate that into self-leadership and apply it in my own life. But every day, it's a journey. Every day I make mistakes. But the idea of leading is that you keep getting better. That's all I have for you today. Have a great day, and I'll be back again with you tomorrow.